This is a short video on the method I would use to reduce stars that overwhelm an image. It's really simple, but it's quite effective, and it can lift the image quite a bit when the stars, as in this one recent image of mine of the fighting dragons of Ara, the stars are dominating too much. I'll just zoom out to show you the whole picture, but when you zoom in, yeah, the stars dominate. The other thing about stars, if you don't remove them when you process, leave them there, is that they become quite blobby, quite large, and very harsh. Certainly in narrowband they become harsh. So we'll tone them down a little bit so they're not quite as white and harsh. So this is easier if you've got a tool set called Noels Actions. If you select brighter stars and just let that run, I can minimize that in a second. You'll see that it does a great job of selecting all the stars. I should have added that I've got two layers here. It's not necessary for this, but it's just to illustrate at the end the before and after of the effect of this treatment. So now the stars are selected, we need to just expand that selection slightly. So I'll go to Select, Modify, Expand. 4 pixels is enough. Normally you can see that that's just encompassed all of the stars. I'll just zoom in. Yeah, we've got most there. Right, and we will feather that selection. So again, select, modify, and feather by about half, so 2 pixels. And this is kind of standard for me. Now, any adjustments you make to the stars at this point are going to be really hard to detect because of the dancing ants. So a little hotkey will get rid of those and put them in the background. It's Control H, and now they're gone. Okay, so first things first, I'll just take the intensity of those stars down a bit with a Gaussian blur. If you go too far, you tend to remove the stars like that, and well, you don't remove them well, but it does remove them and leaves. Well, it's kind of a pleasing effect, that, but really the effect you want for this is somewhere between about 1 and 2 radius. So if I go to that, they've definitely been toned down. If I switch it off, you see how bright and white they are and how dominant, and I'll just tone them down a bit, so maybe a bit more. I think that's a bit too far. Oops. I'll leave it at that. So about 2 there. Yeah, I'll just switch that layer off so you can see what they're like. So it's toned them down already, so they're not quite as dominant. But now if you want to reduce them, you go to Filter, Other, Minimum, and we've got a preview button there as well. So yeah, if you take them too far, then you lose most, and it tends to not look quite as good. So yeah, something around a radius of 1, something like that, maybe a little bit more. I'll leave it at that, 1.2, and I'll zoom out now so you can see the whole image, and that's after the reduction, and this is before. So before, that's after, and that's before. Zoom in a bit so you can see bright white harsh narrowband stars, and that's after. So I've probably gone a little bit too far with that, but it does illustrate what you can do with this technique. Okay, thank you. I'll leave it at that, and happy processing.